Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Welcome. I'm glad to see you all here today. And my biggest concern is this camera. So I may get lost at times, but I hope I will be able to deliver my message today. And because of the audience, I thought about giving a presentation about how to succeed and how to be special, extra special, to be successful in life. This is a very common topic, and everybody probably have heard, read, and done a lot of research on success. But today, I would like to approach it from different perspective. And the main key component of it is your side. I want you to look at these pictures and tell me what is similar about these four people, all four pictures. What do you think?
Maybe physicians.
Okay.
One is a chocolate physicist.
Yeah, good, yes.
Greatest in their fields.
Well,
They're at the top in their
exactly. Well, in order to be called to be dumb, you need to have, in IQ test, something like 50. If you score anything above 50 up to 100, you are an ordinary person. But anything above 100 in IQ test, you are exceptional. And these people are exceptional because they got above 160. So they are intelligent. But does this mean that they are successful in life as well? I've started teaching many years ago, and since my teaching period, I've discovered one important thing about students, success, and results. Many of us emphasize on getting high scores and getting to the top in terms of exams, but is it enough to be successful? I doubt no, because my own observations and my research have shown that the more you put emphasis on analytical intelligence, the less likely you are going to become successful in life. Because there are some more important features of success, and quite a lot of them. So in order to be successful, you are supposed to be not only clever, but wise enough. And so these people have achieved success in terms of knowledge, but did they manage to put it into practice and achieve success in life? According to the research which I have been doing over many years, many of my students actually got, in short period of time, very high scores in IELTS, but unfortunately they ended up enrolling to university and dropping out, or failing exams and being kicked out from university. I really was concerned about it. So what was going wrong with them? I researched about my teaching, how I teach, what I teach, and how much emphasis there should be in not teaching, but developing certain skills. So I discovered that only 20% of our knowledge, which is called explicit knowledge, comes from books and teachers. So just doing what our teacher says and reading the books, we can guarantee 20% of our success in life. Does it mean that we shouldn't be reading books? Of course, no. They are the base. But those people who can put it into practice and make it a bit different in life, that's actually the ones who are going to succeed. So 80% of our success depends on our tacit knowledge. What is the tacit knowledge is? Tacit knowledge is something which we acquire through observations, through analysis, through critical thinking, and through practice. Practice and practice again. This knowledge is not gained in short period of time. But the most scary one about it is that it's not possible to explain, neither to articulate, and not to document. And that's what it makes it so hard, because we can't really explain why and where we got that tacit knowledge. And most funny thing about it is, you have lots of tacit knowledge, but you don't know that you have it. Thinking about tacit knowledge itself is not enough. So if we look to people who were skillful in their field, what did they do extra special to become such person? Whether be that Mozart or Messi, they all have done a lot of work in terms of practicing. Here it comes, 10,000 hours of practice. This is a rule. In order to become successful in any field, you need to be putting into practice 10,000 hours of doing and redoing what you do. Like Messi, who probably kicked the ball more than any other Argentinian. And he may write a book on how to be successful in football, and he may also coach and teach you how to be successful. But I bet by finishing his book or being with him for quite a long time, you won't become best professional or a football player unless you practice yourself. Unless you put it into practice and do it with your own hands and legs. So when we are choosing a profession or when we are choosing a professional, we usually choose the person who is wise enough, skillful, and extraordinarily able to do that. For example, if I'm going to go to a doctor, I'm going to ask around for the one who is the best in his field. Despite the fact that the same doctors, graduate from the same university, finish reading the same books, but over a period of time, they develop the skill, and how skillfully they put that knowledge into practice differs from person to person. And if you manage to analyze and critically think and put your analytical intelligence into practice, you develop practical intelligence. And that timing and your dedication and your analysis will make you extra special. I had, from my own experience, lots of students who actually started studying and doing lots of research on their own. I teach students to be leaders in my classes. I make them read books, I make them watch videos, I make them listen to podcasts, but only 10% of them, they end up becoming true leaders. But why only about 10%? What about the rest, 90%? They do the same job, but why they are not capable of succeeding and becoming that special person like the other ones? It's all about not only knowing and reading, but also practicing and put it into life. And those extra special 10 people are most dedicated, are most analytical, and are most hardworking ones, which I hope that every person in this audience are and will be in the future. So what is necessary if you would like to become a leader? You know the tool. Last but not least, as Robert Stenberg highlights, in order to become successful in life and achieve what we want, we need to be developing our practical intelligence. IQ score only identifies our analytical or critical intelligence, whereas the rest, 80% of our knowledge, depends on our practical and creative intelligence. And that's what we have to be putting most effort. How can we do that? What should be done in order to develop it in no time, with maximum result, and with minimum effort? I want you to be keeping an eye on closely for the things which are observation-based, analysis-based, and coaching. Have somebody whom you can really be close to, observe their strengths, and try to imitate. Make sure that you're not going to be just listening or watching for the knowledge, but also develop that knowledge within you. Step out of your comfort zone. Make effort. Work hard. Do your best to be the better than the other one. But for that, you need an imitator. You need to have that model which makes you to look up to and strive further. So at the end of my speech, I want to emphasize one important thing. You need to excel in life. But to excel, you definitely need practical intelligence or tacit knowledge. Where you need to be getting it is from all of us, from you and every one of you. Because that observation and analysis will make you extra special. And that unique feature of yours, which puts emphasis on how much analytical eyes you have, will make that life more meaningful and success shorter and achieve it faster. Thank you very much.